Hi, all, and thank you for tuning in to the Comedians Uncorked podcast. My name is Pat Largo, and with us we have, I like to call him a Tampa Bay comedy legend. He's originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We have a guy here that I just love on and off the stage, Rahn Hortman. Ron, thanks for being on the Comedians Uncorked podcast with us.
Pat Largo, thank you for having me, man. Your words are too kind. Legend, I can use that?
Yeah, well, of course, man. I mean, just what you do here, again, not just on stage, just your personality and who you are. I love it. I got to do a show with you just a few days ago here in the Tampa Bay area. And it was the first time I saw you in a long time, which leads me to my first question. When things kind of hit the fan early last year in 2020, how did that affect you, your family? I mean, touring, money. What did COVID do for the last 18 or 20 months with Rahn Hortman?
COVID stopped the bank, like, completely. No more shows. That source of income was thrown out the window. But it taught me that I could survive without it, and it showed me what's really important. So I started reevaluating my entire life. As far as what means the most to me, like as far as my family in those situations. So now it makes me think twice about gigs. Like, well, you know what? Whereas I would take everything that was shot my way, now you got to think about it. Oh, you're exposing yourself to possibly COVID, and you can get sick, and it'll stop you from performing for a couple of weeks. So now I try to think about that when I take a gig. So if it's close to me, I'll do it because I'm home. I can be home. But a lot of stuff that I would take before, I just won't do it now.
Yeah, and I know because we talked about that because a couple of times, even a couple of months ago, one of my Comedians Uncorked shows, I think it may have invited you, or I just said, "Hey, are you doing anything?" Because I really haven't even seen you much on social media, and you're like, "I'm just kind of laying low right now, man." And that's not a bad thing. I know a lot of comedians, even our New York and LA buddies and stuff like that, who were hurting for work. Some of them are like, I'm just going to have to maybe just get a real job for now and just kind of lay low a bit and just see how things are. So there was nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And then when we were talking, actually, I didn't even know about this because I heard this in your set you did a few nights ago when we were performing together, that I know you had a couple of health issues in your family, but then you mentioned a health issue that you have going on for yourself. Are you able to expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, man, I got it's called vasovagal syncope. It basically you can pass out at a certain point when you're when you get too excited or your heart beats too fast. So
wow,
this happened about a year and a half ago, and my doctor told me to, hey, you gotta live stress free. You gotta duck and dodge all of the drama. And again, that starts making you think, hey, what's really important? And
sure,
that's where I'm at in life, man. I'm a different person. I'm a different person. Stress free, baby.
Well, see now. And again, I know doctor's orders, but that seems to be such a statement. You gotta get stress free. Well, I say you first, doc, because right now, me making my copay is stress. So, and especially in our business, because I mean, I know you might be having a little day gig or something like that, but I've been doing this stuff about 3 years now, just strictly booking gigs and trying to get my own gigs. And when 2020 hit, woo! And I was taking my mom in my house as a caregiver because she was failing in health. And I got to tell you, man, there was no way, dude, I could have gone 5 minutes without feeling stress. So I don't know even how that, when someone just says, oh, you got to live stress-free, but what's a couple of things maybe you could share with other people who are listening and watching, how maybe you did some stuff to kind of get the stress levels lower?
One of the biggest things for me, and I look, I know we supposed to be trying to be funny right now, but I'm sorry, this is not funny. Rahn Hortman's pretty boring. But one of the biggest things for me was I figured out that a lot of times, like when I would get upset about something, if somebody did something to me, instead of me walking away from it, I would want to address it because I would feel like, oh, they're not going to do that to me. Who do they think they are? They think that I'm this or I'm that. And when I sat down and I thought about it, that was just my pride. That was my pride. So now I'm like, you know what? Take my pride out of it. That person, it cost me this to know I can't deal with that person like that. So I'm done. No argument for me. No, not even a rebuttal. I just move on and I just don't deal with that person in my life anymore. And brother, when I tell you that saves a lot of stress, because people use like titles and old relationships to take advantage of you. And you have to stand up for yourself. And sometimes they just mean by, hey, I still love you. I just can't deal with you like that. And I took that approach and I'm good. And I told him I'm recording and he just walked right in.
See, that's a stress level right there.
Well, no, because you know what? I'm gonna just put him out. I'm gonna lock him out. Like, hey, listen, you know what? You go about your day. I told you I was in Pat Largo.
That's
and you
funny.
didn't get the memo. Yeah, that's it.
But right, that's why the good Lord invented bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Just have a drink. Well, that's good. It's good to hear because, like I said, I'm with you. I just you kind of know priorities now, and you kind of figure out, okay, when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, all right, what's my goal? Number one on my list is how not to get as pissed off as I was yesterday.
Yes.
So just as the less pissed off, the better. And you're right.
Yes.
Just distancing. I'm only on really social media now just to promote shows and actually just fun stuff. You want to see videos about puppies and comedy? I'm your man. I'm not into politics and the COVID shots and this and that. I'm just not doing it. So that's just me.
Listen, no, it's funny you said that. Like, I'm not political in any way, but I seen how people were so passionate about it. And I just sat down one day and I really thought about it. Like, you know what? They really believe that. Let them believe. If that's what they believe,
right?
Let them believe that. They believe that. That's fine. They ain't got to argue about it. And I will say this. Now I have some. I'm not gonna say what political affiliation. I got some people in my neighborhood that are of one political affiliation, and people you would think that they were a certain type of way based on some of the rhetoric that you see. But when I tell you this. Like when COVID first happened, I posted on social media that Publix had no meat. They're all out of meat. I can't believe it. I got a little freaked out.
Right.
When I tell you, my neighbors came to my door with a grocery bag full of meat. I'm like, oh no, man. It was like, no, this is what neighbors do. And I said, man, this is crazy. So I immediately went to social media and said, hey, I don't have any money. And they didn't bring a bag of money, but I tried it. But that's how good they are, man.
That's funny.
And then you just learn people are people. They have their beliefs. Get to know each other on a personal level. All the other now, I don't even want to talk about it. Like we ain't to go there. You believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. And that's that.
That's funny. And then in a way, though, I'm thinking about now you also discovered the people who took all the meat.
Yes.
It's like that. My first question, I'm like, thank you, but what do you do with all that meat? You live alone. What? That's awesome, though. Well, that's great to have neighbors like that. Now you see
the best neighbors, man.
That's really cool. No,
the
that's
best,
awesome.
like literally.
Yeah, and it's people. See, that's what I'm saying. I've become more of a people person. Yeah, I've been in communications for years, in radio and comedy and stuff like that. But I've become a little more astute now and really focused on actual people and like who my friends are, like my small circle of really close friends that I've known for 25, 30 years. Some I've known that long, I had to part with. Yep. I don't wish ill will. I'm cool with it. But I mean, something like that. Now, in my stores, we had some meat, couldn't find paper towels or toilet paper to save my life.
We got a guy.
You got a guy. You got another neighbor. You got the meat guy and the toilet paper
guy. Yeah. We straight over here, man.
That's and we both live in the same city.
If you need some, let me know. Text me.
I appreciate that.
I might have a package for you.
Thanks. I'm good now. I steal it from this gas station down the street. Now, I'm glad, though, you're back when I'm seeing you on social media and some of the promos that you're back on tour because you're I don't want to say fresh off your dry bar comedy special. That was a little while ago, right? Your dry bar special?
About a year ago, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So I felt cheated. Like, I didn't get to, but hey, it was good for me, man. I got I don't even know how many millions of views. I'll say that. And
you do.
People from all over the world actually reach out to me, and it's a beautiful thing. And
isn't that something?
I like to tell people it means everything, but it means absolutely nothing at the same time, because I'm still here. I'm right. Not, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I do.
It meant a lot, though.
Real quick, what's a couple of the countries or some of the furthest ones away where you go, oh my God, I can't believe this?
They tried to book me in Jerusalem.
No,
I got friends in Iceland.
Oh yes, good.
Yeah, I got a couple people over in Germany.
Okay,
that like Rahn Hortman a little bit.
Good.
Argentina. It's crazy, man. The reach is amazing. If you sit and really think about it, it'll freak you out.
All right.
You know what I mean?
I just got this other question in my head now. 2022 comes. Things are a little better. You're healthy. You're doing great. You're like, okay, I got my shots. I'm doing this, or I don't have whatever it is. I'm feeling good. I trust people. Yeah. People in Germany go, Ron, we would love you to do a couple of cities in Germany for a couple of weeks, or we'll fly you out, or do the whole thing. Germany, Iceland. Would you entertain a 2 or 3 month trek in those areas to do shows?
I'm going. Definitely. I'm definitely going.
Nice.
I'm definitely going. Like I was really working. I really want the Jerusalem trip. Like, yeah, that blew my mind. Like, what the? But yeah, I'm definitely going. Definitely.
That's what I like to hear. And that my previous question was when I said it's great to see you back out on the road again. Not just some of the local stuff like we did a few nights ago. It's great to see you working with the lovely and amazingly talented Anjelah Johnson.
Yes.
And I know Ron works for or opens for Anjelah, and pretty soon some names are going to be opening for you. I'm sure they do already, but you're at that stage now where you're going to be commanding some good names to be opening for you. But first off, I've been an Anjelah Johnson fan before I even knew you were working with her. I'm going back years prior to her big Asian nail salon bit.
Yes,
I loved her. And I'm so happy to see her. And I know she's married now. I think newly married, I want to say.
A couple of years now. She's married.
Okay.
She is one of the sweetest people I ever met in life. She's supportive. She's giving. She shares information. She's an all around great person, man. She treats my family like her family, and
wow, I
couldn't be more prouder to be her friend. And I get to do some super cool gigs. And, and the crazy thing about it is, from the moment I met her, she didn't treat me like look down on me or anything. She treats me like
a regular opening act or something.
Like we're right. She treats me like we're peers, and I feel like I'm in the inner circle, and that means a lot, man. It really does.
Wow. All right. A couple of quick follow-ups before I forget, because I'm at that age now. I need my CoQ10, Ron. Where does you're very talented, and you're in the Tampa Bay area. So now, where did that first hook up? How did that work? Did Anjelah's people contact you? Did you just happen to meet her? How did it work? Where someone says, "Hey, you want to work with Anjelah Johnson?"
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be transparent.
Okay.
I didn't know who she was.
Okay.
One of my mentors, the great Al Romas.
Yep.
Shouts out to Big Al. Big Al was always opening a couple doors for me, and he reached out to me one day because I believe they had the same management.
Okay.
And he said, he's like, "Hey man, got a gig for you. They looking for somebody clean." And I told him you'd be perfect. It's at a college in Orlando. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, her people they're gonna reach out to you. He said it could mean absolutely nothing, or it could be a big deal. Just do what you do. All right. And I was like, all right. He said, good luck, kid. And
wow.
Al, like this old school Italian mobster.
Oh yeah, I
comedy
know.
dude.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, man. So her people reached out to me. They said, hey, send us a clip. I sent them a clip, and they were like, everything's great. Just don't do this joke or that joke. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna be those people. All right. I was like, all right, no problem. I get to all the college gigs I had done to that point was me, and I was literally in the cafeteria, people walking by, not paying attention.
Right.
So I'm thinking it's a college gig. I get there, it's UCF,
Yep.
right? And I didn't realize that's the second biggest college in the country.
Yeah,
And-
population wise, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a stadium.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm like, what? And I hadn't met her yet. I'm like, who is this? And so I meet her in passing. She's like, hey, I heard you're really funny. Just have fun. They're gonna tape it for you, and then it might be a good tape for you. Just have fun. She said, I'm sorry, I gotta take a call, whatever. I'm like, okay. So I'll go out, I do my thing, and it blew my mind because it was so many people there.
Right.
I get off stage, I introduce her, she's come out, she's like, hey, they said you did really well in passing. I'm like, thank you. So she go on stage, she do her thing. After the show, she said, hey, I'm sorry I didn't get to watch your set. I'm gonna be at the Orlando Improv. Can you come so I can watch you? And I said, I'm sorry, I got shows in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm gonna be back until Sunday. She said, Sunday's fine. So I'm like, all right. And this is how comedy works, y'all.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you.
this is right.
So I do my shows in Knoxville at it was Sidesplitters when they had the club in Knoxville.
Yep.
I came back Sunday, didn't even go home. My wife actually went with me, got a hotel in Orlando, went to the Orlando Improv. She gave me 5 minutes. I'm gonna tell you who was in the back room that day.
Okay.
Preacher Lawson.
Wow.
I think Ken Miller was there, and Adam Murray.
Okay.
They were in the back because that's their home club.
Yeah.
And so she had her opener do some time at the time, a guy named TC, funny dude, cool dude. And she said, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. I want to watch you. And I'm like, all right, bro. The crowd was so hot. I told 3 jokes and I got off stage. And she said, bro, I don't think that was 5 minutes. I said it was 4 minutes. If I would have did another joke, I would have went over, and I didn't want to disrespect your time.
Right.
She said, we're gonna work together. And I've been working with her ever since.
Because they were probably laughing so long and so into it. It's all that extra time of you not saying anything. You're not going to tell the crowd to shut up.
Oh my God. That probably one of the hottest shows I ever been on. Like everything I said was up. I was like, oh my God.
You gave me goosebumps, please. You gave me goosebumps right there, buddy. I love it.
And I never if any young comics see this, never disrespect the stage, never disrespect the light. It's not your show, it's her show. And I got so much work from that moment that I can begin to thank her enough.
Sure.
Literally all over the country.
And did you go back in the room and tell Adam, Ken, and Preacher to kiss your ass? That's awesome. That's a great story because I never knew, and that's awesome. Yeah. And now to see you on the road with her, and I'm glad the first thing you said was she's really cool and super sweet because it makes me upset or just sad sometimes when someone I like, bands, comics, actors that you meet, or someone met them and they go, what a jackass. You go like, oh no.
Yeah, but there's so many. There's so many like that. So when I meet somebody that's super nice, I tell everybody. And
that's a great. I'll give you just a quick one. In '99, when I was in radio, I was doing a small station in Daytona in between coming back to Tampa, and we did this huge show in St. Pete. It used to be before the Tropicana Field. It was called the Suncoast Dome, and it was a bunch of great bands, and Metallica headlined. And I didn't know until we got there. Me and my program director, we were going to interview Metallica backstage. No one told me. We didn't have any recorders either. So a buddy of mine from 98 Rock here in Tampa gave me the recorder. I go back, I'm interviewing Jason Newsted, the bass player, James Hetfield, the lead singer of the greatest rock band in the world, is walking by me in his boxer shorts, making goofy faces to try to make me laugh while I'm interviewing. And I'm thinking, these guys are the coolest guys. I mean, maybe I got lucky that night, but no ego, no nothing. They couldn't have been nicer. So it's just great to hear that Anjelah is so cool. I freaking love that, man.
I just thought of something.
Yes, sir.
I just thinking Ken Miller may not have been there that night, but it was definitely Adam Murray and Preacher Lawson. It may not have been Ken. I don't want to lie on Ken. It may,
right. And that was probably a real young Preacher Lawson, right?
Very young Preacher Lawson.
Yeah.
Before he blew up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, it's just great to see this, man. I love Preacher blowing up and you doing your thing.
Yeah, Adam Murray and movies and all that. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And at the end of this interview here shortly, we'll give people a way to follow you and where they can see shows with you and Anjelah or your shows and all that stuff like that. Real quick, I know you've known some people now in show business or doing live comedy, and there's heckling, there's craziness going on. Let me post a picture real quick here of something that happened just recently. They called her the White Karen over here, and this was at the Comedy Zone in Jacksonville. I forget the gentleman's name who was on stage.
That's Evrion Crockett.
Oh, that's it. Yes. So
I got a story to tell you.
Okay. So apparently she gets on stage recently, literally walks on the stage while he is performing and says, quote, "I'm a woman, I'm married to a man, and you've offended a lot of people here today with your jokes." I guess he was joking about sex or marriage. This picture disgusted me in many ways, and she was on stage far too long. Anyone should never even think about doing something like that. And the fact that she was even on there for more than 10 seconds without getting thrown off really blows me away. But have you noticed this, experienced this, or how do you feel about this type of behavior?
First of all, she was within 6 feet without her mask on, and that was very unsafe for Evrion Crockett.
That's true.
And he could have, you know what I'm saying? He could have got the COVID.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? Somebody told me when I first started comedy that comedians are on the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to entertainment. And it's because we make it look easy. So everybody thinks they can do it. So when you up there performing, they're not really respecting you as an artist. They get caught up in the moment, like you a person up there talking, and they feel like they can talk.
Right.
So she's dead wrong, and I think I know a couple years ago, a comedian in Florida, somebody physically fought him at a show. Physically, yeah. And so it's been going on for years, man. I think it's worse now because people they feel validated to be so opinionated, and the society is setting the precedence that that's the thing to do. So it's horrible. But I will say that Jacksonville comedy, the Comedy Zone, it must be a curse there. I was there that night. I don't know if you heard about the Tammy Pescatelli incident. Well, I was opening for her.
Okay.
And a lady was texting in the front row. And so she said, "Hey, get off your phone or, go to the back of the room. It's distracting." And she was like, "I'm just texting." She said, "I know what you're doing, but you're texting in the middle of my show."
Right.
Quit acting like a dumb blonde, right? And the lady said, "I'm not really a blonde." And she said, "Like we didn't know that." The lady got so mad, she took a glass and she shot it on stage. It shattered. They called the police. Bro, it was crazy. And people just feel like comedy is like, entertainment in general, people in general. I'm just going to say comedians because they do it at baseball games and all that. But they just feel like they have the right to do that. And that's absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Well, and I was thinking of that analogy. Like, you pay a lot of money, like a lot of money, and you can boo at a basketball game, football game, but you could boo You're not allowed to throw. You should be throwing stuff on the field. You should be throwing beer or stuff
Right.
at players. You can boo. You can yell. It's a concert. You can go, you suck during the show because the music is so loud. Nobody hears what you're saying.
Right.
Comedy is the only thing where it's so simple. It's just a light. It's a microphone, but the audience has to be quiet. That's all we ask. And like you're right. There could be 200 people in the audience. You will see that person in the back row on their texting.
Yep.
And you focus on that one person. 199 people can be looking at you having a great time, but you focus on that one person. But you're right. The unmitigated gall of people to just, it's like social media. I guess they figure, well, I can't type a glass onto the stage, so I'm going to throw it at you because this is who I am, and who are you to talk to me that way?
Yep.
There is no more civility in a lot of these cases now, just actual common sense and civility. And I don't know if that's just around the world now, but I'm hearing more of this stuff at comedy clubs. I'm seeing it just in the streets. It's just weird, man. So, and I kind of figured that was going to be your take on that too. So bottom line is, Tony God said it good. He goes, this is like our home and everything. The stage is our home. And I didn't invite you on here. So, just stay there and be quiet, please. Otherwise leave but stop interrupting the show,
If you're not having a good time, just leave. They just want one of the biggest, I'll say, altercations I had. I was at a show, and show was going great. People were enjoying. Everybody before me did well. I was closing out the show. Well, I'm on stage telling jokes, and this guy is in the middle, just holding up a phone, recording. I'm like, hey man, can you please don't record? I'm helping you out. I'm streaming. If I'm like, well, I don't want to be streamed.
Right.
But you're a comic, and I'm like, brother, no, I don't want you recording me. And so that turned into another audience member like, man, you're being rude. Stop. And then they got into a physical altercation and stopped the show and all that. But it's just people feel like they can do whatever they want.
Yeah,
they just do.
You're right. And I just hope people, like you said, with technology nowadays, if you're going to a comedy show, look that person up on social media or on YouTube.
Yep.
More than likely they're on there. See if you like their comedy. If you don't like their comedy, don't go. If you are so offended, and that word offends me nowadays because it's a very strong word to use. But if you're so offended, just leave quietly. Guess what? The manager will probably give you free tickets to another show. Now, I'm not saying go do that just to get your damn free tickets. But if you're that mad, but please don't act. And, God, we're adults, man. Just be nice. Just be nice. Unless the comic is asking you a question or says, hey, come on stage because we're going to do something together. Please don't talk and just be nice and sit there. You don't have to laugh. Have you seen my shows, Ron? Hardly anyone laughs. But at least they're nice. All right.
And I got friends that really go in on hecklers, like go into the fact, then they get mad because you embarrassed me. So we lose either way it go.
Either way. So bottom line, just be nice. Just be nice.
Yep.
Let me share this with you because you're going to be coming up in a couple of days here at Sidesplitters in Tampa. You're doing this thing. Can you explain what this is on November 20th at 6:00 at Sidesplitters Comedy for a Cause?
Comedy for a Cause it's an early show, 6 p.m. So you can do something else afterwards. Yep. It's a fundraiser for the Homeless Empowerment Program. So nice. This fundraiser, this non-profit organization, they're giving back to help homeless people better their situation so they're not there anymore. Me and Shelly Shells, I'm happy. I also think JJ Curry's going to be on the show too.
Oh, good.
I'm happy to be a part of it. As you know, this year, one of the biggest things that touched me, I've been on dozens of these types of shows where I give back, but the comedy community gave back to me, and it meant so much. So I'm always happy to help. It's such a beautiful thing. Comedy for a Cause. If you can come out, hang out with me, shake hands or fist bumps, whatever we do nowadays. But it's for a good cause.
That's cool. And even if you're not around the Tampa Bay area or even out of state or around the world, you can always just look it up, Comedy for a Cause online, and probably donate something as well. So that's so cool. And that's why I said at the top of the show, man, the interview, when I said you're legendary, because it's stuff like this, man. It's not just going out and hanging out with big stars like Anjelah Johnson and Tammy Pescatelli and doing your comedy all over the country. It's about giving back and doing stuff like that. In closing, Rahn Hortman, let people know your fans, new fans, people who are watching and listening to this on Spotify and YouTube and Google Podcasts and all the platforms. Where can people get a hold of and see Rahn Hortman, either solo or with Anjelah?
Okay, well, I just found out there's a Rahn Hortman Pandora station, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Nice.
I didn't know. Yeah, Rahn Hortman on Pandora. My name is spelled different, Rahn. Rahn Hortman on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, RAHN HORTMAN, or you can do hashtag GrandDaddy Fresh and you'll find me. I'm not that great at social media, but this year I said I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna post y'all might see me with my shirt off. That's how deep I'm gonna get into social media. I'm gonna show you. Yeah. You like that, don't you, Pat? See,
well, I'm gonna take my COVID mask and put it over my eyes on that.
But yeah, find me on social media. Be my friend. I just like to have a good time and make people smile. That's it, man. That's it. Keep really smiling. Cool. Life is rough, curveballs, and if you smile through it, you'll be all right.
You're right, man. I like that. And if you need any meat or extra toilet paper, just contact Ron's neighbor. That's going to be great. Well, Rahn Hortman, listen, man, seriously, always a pleasure. I love you, man. No doubt about that. I'm so glad that you're doing so well, and you're one of ours here in the Tampa Bay area representing Florida. I love that so much. And I want people to contact you, and you're always welcome to come on the Comedians Uncorked podcast. We'd love to have you in studio one day. And we're all going to do some green room sessions too down the road, probably in early 2022, where me and Tony get out and hang out with the comics in the green room in between shows or after shows. So we'll definitely catch you and maybe Anjelah. Hey, put in a word. We're going to be on Spotify. Maybe we can grab you and Anjelah next time on the show. That'd be fantastic.
I'll see what I can do. I can't promise it, but I'll see what I can do.
You guys are busy.
Definitely. We'll love to hang out.
Rahn Hortman, God bless you and your family. I love it. And folks, thank you so much for listening and also watching our Comedians Uncorked podcast. We're going to get back to the show now. Laugh, you deserve it, and have a great Thanksgiving.